Hey guys, it's Dragon Ball for Life here today, and I'm back with another video. Today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Dragon Ball GT's Baby Arc. Now, before I get into this, I do want to say I've actually finished the rest of GT over the weekend, so I'll be trying to pump out each, review as soon as possible. The thing is, I don't know if I wanted to upload two of them today, and then because it's if I upload two of them, then I'll only have the final one left, and I'll be basically done with the review of this the arcs. But I thought to myself, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I double upload, so I'm just going to upload one review today, and then I'm going to upload a separate video, and then tomorrow I'm going to upload the other arc and stuff in separate video. And I'm planning on doing this review obviously for the Baby Arc, then the Super 17, then the Shadow Dragons. But after that, I want to do basically a whole review and synopsis on GT as a whole when I thought about it as a whole, because these ones you can get somewhat of a guesstimate of what I think about the show, talking about each arc specifically. But I think it's better to give a whole synopsis of it throughout the entire show itself, because I think it's easier for me to explain than once again. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna also do a power scaling video on this, because the main reason that I wanted to do it was to, I had a disagreement with one of the viewers, and he was saying I was wrong, so I want to prove him wrong or whatever. So I'm going to be making that video also. So it's going to be this video, the Baby video, the Super 17 video, the Shadows Dragon video, the whole synopsis on, GT as a whole, my review on GT as a whole, and then the power scale one. And after that, I'm probably gonna never ever make a a GT video again, because there's not really much to talk about GT, especially nowadays, since it's not really canon and there's no real necessity for it. So yeah, let's get into the Baby Arc. Now, the Baby Arc, since I watched it, I didn't watch it too long ago, but I watched multiple episodes consistently. I have forgotten a couple of stuff in some key places, so if I do forget, just remember that I don't really have it scripted, and on top of that, I did watch a bunch of episodes, so I might leave some out, so that's why I'm going to do that whole, final review in the ending anyway. So yeah, this arc, it's the confusion about this arc for me was just like how I had for the last one, the Black Star Dragon arc, because both of them were basically, intertwined with each other, the stories. The other ones kind of have some connection with each other, especially the Shadow Dragons arc with the 17 arc, but it's not enough. This one, they were actually literally within it. The Baby arc was literally starting while the the Black Star Dragon arc was, I guess, somewhat ending, but it did officially end by the end of the Baby arc. So we had Baby coming up with Dr. Mew, creating him and stuff, and they attacked him thinking they destroyed him, but he was actually in Dr. Mew's body before, and Dr. Rildo's, I think, which was really confusing. And then he leaves. They think they destroyed him, and now he's preparing to launch his assault. He did the whole thing where taking out the ship, inhabiting the kid's body, and leaving the Dragon Ball there to have a signal for them to come. Which, personally, I think that plan was very strategic, especially how he followed up with the Doctor and stuff. And it was I thought it was interesting how Goku and the rest of the gang kind of figured out what his plan was right there, and were planning to take him out. But then his escape, I felt like it was kind of a plot convenience for him to get away. I get it, they're trying to build up a story, they can't have him die that early, but it felt a little bit like a plot convenience for him to get out of there. And then when he goes to Earth and stuff, it's crazy to me that he got to Earth and he infected so many people super quick. I mean, by the time they came to give the Dragon Balls to Dende and Popo, they're already infected by then, and they got him the Dragon Ball so he can wish for the new planet Vegeta to show up. Which I want to go through those a little bit. Now, when Baby first arrives to Earth, he fights against the rest of the the Z fighters and stuff, and goes through them to get more powerful and lead up finally to Vegeta so he can obtain his body and have his battle against Goku. And I thought that was interesting, the way he led up to through those fights. But I do feel like watching it kind of made the rest of the characters look very pathetic. I mean, looking at Goten, he was being stupid. Instead of focusing on fighting him, he was more focusing on talking to the girl on the phone. And I was like, you have a big threat right there, maybe handle him first instead of talking to her. And on top of it, I felt like Goten, I kind of annoyed me, because I was like, this guy can only still go Super Saiyan, this dude had so much time to train. He got Super Saiyan as a 7-year-old, and now he still has only the Super Saiyan. It's like the fact that he hasn't even obtained Super Saiyan 2 is kind of pathetic. So I was like, yeah, he's lame. And then Gohan comes in, he takes over Gohan's body. I think that was a little bit decent. Piccolo comes in, does literally jack shit. He gets attacked easily. He takes over his body, attacks Vegeta, takes over his. I think Vegeta put up a good fight, but then he got taken over pretty easily. Yeah, and then when Goku and them are coming back to Earth, trying to deal with him, and then fighting Baby, and Goku can't handle him because he would need Super Saiyan 3 to do something, and even then that wasn't enough. And on top of it, he couldn't maintain it. So I thought that was very interesting to drop some tension in the story. And Baby not only beats him, but he nearly kills him until Supreme Kai comes in to save his ass in the last minute, teleports him, but the blast still, connects and drops Goku off into another dimension. Now, personally, this little dimension arc, or I wouldn't say arc, but parts of this arc, it was like a two-parter. I did not like it. I felt like it was very unnecessary. It was not very needed to have this. I know some people say, but what about these two characters that come from there? I forgot what their names were. But they came there and they helped Goku go Super Saiyan 4. But all they did was basically help him pull out his tail. Like, we really didn't need them for that. But yeah, I felt like this was like a little filler part when we're in the big main stuff to get through, And then when Goku does fight him and stuff, the whole back and forth situation on planet Vegeta, which is now just, the toughest planet. I felt like also that didn't make sense. Planet Vegeta has 10 times Earth's gravity. If you were to put another planet that close by with its moon, that is also super large, by the Earth, the gravitational pull would have pulled the Earth fucking in. I mean, our sun only has 27 times Earth's gravity. This planet has 10 times Earth's gravity. And it was not even that far away, so I'm surprised it didn't have any effect on the Earth itself. But then again, most shows don't go as literal, but scientifically, technically, they should have done that. But yeah, Baby comes there. When I saw Baby's transformations, I like Baby's transformations, but I never knew it, but he does not barely stay in those transformations for that long. The first transformation that he has, he stays in there for a decent amount of time. The second one instantly switches out of it. The third one, I thought he stayed in that a lot longer because we see him all the time with the black clothes on, and he looks super cool in that. But then he switches to his ape form, and he stays in that golden ape form for a massive amount of time throughout the fight, so I didn't like that. Also, when Goku was fighting him and turned to the golden ape, it doesn't make sense that Goku's golden ape form should be bodying, Baby so easily, because I get it, if you think about it logically, its ape form is 10 times multiplier, right? And then Super Saiyan is times 50. So if you basically get a 10 times 50, that would be making it go up to like 500, which would be higher than Super Saiyan 3 by 10 times. But even with that amount of power, I would assume that Baby's, how significantly more powerful Baby got, just, having a 10 times extra boost compared to a Baby shouldn't have been that much. I mean, like, it felt ridiculous. Like, they made it sound like a golden ape. Yes, it is 10 times more powerful than Super Saiyan 3, but look at what he was doing to Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan 3, Goku was getting bodied. When he was fighting Baby was easily bodying him, knocking him around. He wasn't even taking it seriously. He took hits. He felt like nothing. So he can easily handle Super Saiyan 3. But once you go to a form that's like, 10 times more powerful than that, he's going to get his ass handed to him. I just felt like it was too ridiculous right there. Also, some people really like the whole concept of the golden ape form and then going to Super Saiyan 4 and then looking at the Earth. It made no sense that the Earth would transform Goku into an ape, when every time we've seen it and stated it's been a moon, it's not been a planet. And their argument was, well, the light reflected off of the Earth and it's sent out these blitz waves that Goku absorbed, just like the moon. But the thing is, it needs a specific amount. Vegeta, when he explained it in the Saiyan Saga to Goku, he explained that the moon gives out a specific amount of blitz waves. Even the bigger moons, they give a certain amount of it that they need in a range to transform. So they can't have it too little or too much. I'm pretty sure if he got it from Earth, the energy levels would be far different. It can't just get blitz waves from anything. It has to be a specifically set thing. So it didn't make sense for him to get it from the Earth. Also, the whole fight, I'll say the whole fight, it was interesting, but it wasn't very memorable. I wouldn't say there's anything special about the fight itself. I didn't remember any cool moments from it. It had some cool moments when Goku went Super Saiyan 4, with a couple of the blasts and attacks he gave him. But as a whole, the fight wasn't that spectacular. If you look at Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, the fights are so memorable because of the choreography, what happened in the fight, what they did. Even in Z, where people saying, well, they were doing more energy attacks. Those energy attacks at least looked more unique. This fight didn't have that many stuff. The only cool stuff I could say, like I said, was a couple of shots here and there. The real coolest thing I think I would say is Baby's move, the big black energy ball thing. To be honest, I really like these attacks that have these darker colors. They did it also with Super 17 where he has an energy attack which is also like black. I like that. I think that looks cool. But if I'm being honest, the fight wasn't very memorable. I'm never gonna say this is like my top fights in GT, or I mean in Dragon Ball. Super, even though Super, I did not like a lot of stuff about Super. Super had better fights too. I mean, especially the final fight with against Jiren, that was an amazing fight. But this one was very lackluster. I was hoping more from it. Also, people always say Baby is a great villain because he had an actual backstory, which I do agree. He had a great backstory with them, connection with the whole, being the original people of the planet Tuffles, and getting wiped out and the Saiyans taking over and stuff. So you understand that. But then when you see Baby's motivation, way he acts and stuff, he's just like a generic villain. There's nothing special about him. He doesn't mind killing his own people. He doesn't mind hurting people. He does crazy stuff. He's ready to destroy the planet and stuff. He does a lot of stuff that is just generic villain stuff. So yeah, he does have the backstory with them, but he's not really as much of a sympathetic villain as a lot of people say he is. He's really just a generic villain at the end of the day. When I look at his actions and the way he acts, that's how he acts. And people saying, well, he has a connection to the Saints. That isn't that creative of a writing anyway either. Like okay, he has a connection. So what does that even mean? He still acts like every other villain that we've dealt with. There's nothing different about it. It's not like he actually has a real goal. And I know he said he wanted a world where if he takes over, then there will be world peace and stuff like that. But he clearly doesn't care about peace. He killed innocent people like crazy and was blowing up stuff. And even when he got achieved his stuff, he started killing his own people. So he obviously doesn't care about stopping wars and stuff. So all that posturing about this and that is just wrong anyway. So I didn't really care for that and his motivation. The fights, like I said, wasn't enough. The Prime Vegeta stuff was kind of weird. Also, the whole Black Star Dragon Ball thing, I didn't get that how it worked because they said they needed back to stop it, but then when Baby used it and it went off, they said it went back on again and reset it again, which I don't get that whole logic behind that. The whole, how the Black Star Dragon Balls even work. You have to have it on the Earth to stop it from destroying. I thought you had to just wish to stop it from it or whatever, and then it leaves and then it restarts. So I thought once when you get it, it would like completely reset it and the Earth will be fine. And then if it gets off the Earth, then 1 more year. But no, they're saying, well, nope, it has to stay on there forever. The moment it gets off, you only have 1 year and stuff. So I was like, what the hell? This made no sense. And then the Earth was getting destroyed and stuff anyway. So they had to save and they had like a whole rescue mission. They defeated Baby. Also, I will admit the way they beat Baby was a lot better in this one than I first remembered. But I will say one thing before I get into the next part, because even though this is after Baby's defeated, this event does pertain to the Baby arc and the Black Star Dragon Ball arc, obviously more so. But it pertains to it, so I'm going to keep it in this. But the fight between the two, between Goku and, Baby, I have a couple problems with it. One, it was super long. After a while, I felt like they were just stretching this out for no reason. I get it wasn't as long as other fights that we've seen in other animes, but here's the thing. The most important thing about writing a show is pacing. When you write a fight that is, repetitive and back and forth and just not really changing, then it's harder for people to sit there and watch it. Compared to a fight, even if it is long, where they have completely different things happening, multiple stuff happening, you could at least, have some enjoyment from it. But this fight, it was the same stuff happening back and forth, and I was just getting sick and tired of it. I felt like the pacing in this arc was horrible. Like, the fight was massively long, longer than it should have been. I did not care for it. After a while, I was like, just end it. I was getting actually pissed. So that was a pretty big downgrade for me on this arc. Also, I'll say this. Goku could have easily beaten him without having to go through all that stuff. Remember, what was he getting his powers from? The Blitzwave machine that Bulma made from the tower. All Goku had to do was destroy that. If he destroyed that, Baby would have de-transformed from his, ape form back to his regular form. He could have done that. Simply, that's all he had to do was blow that up. He would have gone back and he could have beaten him instead of wasting all of his energy trying to defeat the ape form. Also, in the end of the day, when he did beat the ape form, he knocked him down and then he blew his tail off and he went back to normal. So I was like, okay, so he could have either, destroyed the tower and that would have been an easy way to completely turn back to normal and you would have had the advantage. Or you could have destroyed the tail. I do not know why he didn't go for the tail at all. We've seen that their tails aren't that hard to destroy. We've seen it with Yajirobe cutting it off. We've seen it with, when I think it was Poir when he turned in, or he or she, whatever, turned into a scissors and they cut off his tail. We've seen it multiple times, tails being sliced off easily. So why the hell did Goku have to knock him unconscious and then blow off his tail? If he really wanted to beat him, all he had to do was blow up his tail. He would have gone back to normal and they could have beaten him that way. So yeah, they made it, after seeing that, not only was this fight long, but it could have been shorter and it was stupid the reason it was that long. Because all he had to do is destroy his tail or destroy the machine and he would have gone back to normal. So his weakness were pretty obvious, but for some reason they didn't capitalize on it and they had to go to extremes just to do it. Which it felt like they were kind of being stupid at that point. But yeah, let's go to the whole destruction of the Earth thing. At this point, they're just, Goku's turning Super Saiyan 4 and just teleporting people off the planet. They're trying to get people off. And then there's this stupid ass kid who, this part pissed me off. Because obviously this led to Piccolo's kind of like his death. He didn't have to die, but this kind of led to it. But it kind of pissed me off because this kid is being a dipshit. You have his mom and dad trying to pack up getting all the farm animals to leave so they can survive and stuff. And this dumbass hears the Earth is going to get destroyed, sees all this, and his retarded ass is fucking playing with his dog. It pissed me off. I was like, man, this kid, it made me want to go into the show and slap the shit out of the kid. Like, are you fucking stupid? The Earth is going to get destroyed. You know it. You see the cataclysm that's happening, and your dumbass is not focusing on that? Sorry for that noise. It's some car outside. But yeah, there's such a serious threat, and your dumbass is focused on playing with your fucking dog? Are you really that stupid? That pissed me off. I was like, you're fucking talking to a dog and playing with your dog, and then you're like, what is happening? You fucking retard. Stay with your parents. Fucking go on the ship, you dumbass. Is your fucking dog that important? Oh, the Earth. Let me focus on talking to my fucking dog and playing with my dog. Stupid as shit. That was the dumbest thing ever. It was such a dumbass reasoning, and then Goku had to go back and save him, and then he was running low on energy. Then Piccolo had to come and help him out, and it made no sense because Piccolo was holding on Goku's arm to give him the energy, and when Goku did the instant transmission, he left, and Piccolo didn't go with him. And they're like, how did he let go of it? And we didn't see it, but when it showed on his thing, it was his hand was like this. And we all know when you make contact with Goku while he does instant transmission, it teleports you. Yet Piccolo didn't get teleported, which made no sense. But Piccolo was fine with it. He said, we need to stop the Black Star Dragon Balls there. Sorry for that misconstruction. We have to stop the, what's the thing called? The Black Star Dragons from coming back. He was blaming himself. And he was like, oh, it was because of me that this happened and stuff. And he basically dies, and then he goes to, Otherworld. And later on he comes to Hell. But he goes to Otherworld, and he stays dead. And people said that this is a very, great somber moment from Dragon Ball GT. Because they actually had death have meaning and stuff. Personally, I did not like it for a couple of reasons. One, it's not necessary for him to die for the Black Star Dragon Balls to stop being a thing. They could have destroyed it. Nowhere did they state that if you destroy the Black Star Dragon Balls that the Earth would be destroyed. Nowhere did they state that. So they could have blown up the Black Star Dragon Balls and Piccolo wouldn't have had to die. Second of all, these Black Star Dragon Balls don't really make any sense. I know that they explained it a little bit, saying by Pilaf. He said, oh, this was created by when Piccolo was combined. So basically it was made by the stronger Namekian, and then also when Piccolo fused back with Kami, it reactivated. But there's a couple of still problems with it. Even after the reactivation, the Dragon Ball radar didn't pick it up. Didn't make sense. Why didn't it pick up the Black Star Dragon Balls? Also, none of them even still knew about it when Goku lived there for a couple of years with Oob, and he lived there prior. He lived there a couple of years with Oob, and none of them knew about it. But somehow Pilaf knew about it and knew who created them, which never made any sense. It was just shoehorning it in. Also, the Black Star Dragon Balls were just stupid plot devices, just so the story narrative can go on and have Piccolo die. It was such a BS reasoning for him to die. Like I said, they could have destroyed it. Why didn't they pick it up before? or they could have, you know, done something with other Dragon Balls and made it these Dragon Balls wipe out of existence or something. Hell, there was remember how what's the thing called, the regular Dragon Balls got destroyed when Demon King Piccolo killed, you know, Shenron. We saw the statue thing, and all Popo did was fix it, and that's fixed it back up. Find the statue for this one, destroyed that one, it'll turn them to stones, then you can blow it up, and you won't have to worry about it being on Earth anymore because it wouldn't be active anymore. So Piccolo wouldn't have to die, so that was not necessary. Also, on top of it, it pissed me off because we didn't see Piccolo do anything in this show. He didn't do anything in the last arc, and then this arc he did jack shit. Yes, he did show up towards the end to help out with that scenario, but that's the only time we've seen him do something, and then he's dead right afterwards. So it kind of annoyed me because of your, you know, big Piccolo fan. Shouldn't you want Piccolo to stay around longer and do something? He didn't do jack shit. He got fucking he got steamrolled when you know, Gohan was taken over by a baby, and then he came out and helped out right there, and then he just dies and goes to afterlife, and we don't see him again. And that was one of my biggest problems with this show, which I will be going on to in my other video when I talk about the show as a whole. But yeah, they misused Piccolo, and having him just die like that didn't make me feel any impactful emotion. It made me annoyed, and I don't like it because if you're gonna do that, at least have him do some stuff. Don't just have him come in with a little assistant and die when he didn't need to. And we could have had a simple solution to solve it anyway. So yeah, this arc, it was definitely better than the Black Star Dragon arc. That arc was terrible. It was boring. Only a small part of it that I liked. Majority of it, I thought it was ass. But this arc was better. But if I'm being honest, I still didn't really care for this arc too much for a couple of reasons. One, it was drawing out too long. The fight was way too long. The fight could have been easily solved. The whole, you know, the Earth getting back to being resumed, getting destroyed didn't make much sense. And Piccolo sacrificing himself was also kind of dumb. Also, we didn't see enough of him. You know, the build up to it was really good with, you know, his plans going inside the kid's body and then going inside the doctor's body and then that and stuff. But I feel like his whole plan as a whole was kind of, I didn't really care for it, him infecting everybody and stuff. And it was too much back and forth. It is cool to have him have a connection with the Saiyans and have a reason to hate them. But for everything else, for his reasoning for doing everything else, didn't really make any sense. I felt like he was just a generic villain. Though he does have a cool ass design, but he doesn't really have that many abilities. Also, they kept him in that ape form for too long. I hated that. Super Saiyan 4, what do I think about that? Because it was introduced in this arc. Personally, my feelings on Super Saiyan 4 is different than most fans. People really love Super Saiyan 4. I think the design is okay. I personally would have preferred if it was golden fur instead of, you know, red fur, because that just comes out of nowhere. But I think the transformation looks pretty cool. I don't think it's my favorite transformation, or I don't think it's the coolest like other people, but I still do think it's cool, and I see where you guys think that. But how you got it, I think is kind of dumb. Just them needing tails again, which is like, they needed tails before, and we were far past this. Bringing back something like that is not interesting. It's just lame. It's like just reusing it, and then you know, having to go to ape form and going golden. It didn't make sense that the golden ape form would be that much stronger. Yes, it makes sense it would be stronger than Super Saiyan 3 because, you know, 50 times 10. But even then, it shouldn't have been so ridiculously OP. And on top of it, Super Saiyan 4 makes no sense. You somehow go to the golden form, and somehow by controlling the golden form, you transform into Super Saiyan 4 and go into that. How does that even work? Also, Super Saiyan 4 was kind of ridiculous. Here's the thing about it. When Goku would go Super Saiyan 4, he would legit, what's the thing called? You know what? Actually, I'll go on to talking about Super Saiyan 4 a little bit more in the final thing, because I think this has a big stuff. I've already gotten enough about, you know, this arc as a whole. Personally, what I think this arc is, I would rate this arc like an average. I would rate this arc like a B+. The other arc, definitely a D. There was some good stuff, but it was a D. It was a terrible arc. This arc would be like around... actually, I want to put B+. I'll probably put like B-, B. It's a decent one, but I think they could have done a lot more, and I just feel like as a whole it wasn't as entertaining as a lot of people thought. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this arc. I will be bringing out my next one, my Super 17 arc, tomorrow, and I'll be releasing each of these arcs each other day. So I'm going to try to bring them out as soon as possible. But my main focus is definitely the power scaling GT video, since I have a big reason to do that one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and stay tuned for my next video.